Brook rippling. Hello, I am Andreas. Today I want to say something to the Bible again. I really like that I deal with it spiritually. I to all saints made a video in which I talked about Abraham. Because it's like that's still alive from my childhood, that in school, in primary school, formerly it was called Hauptschule, in religious education was read from the Bible. I remember that nearly all children were frightened and shocked when they read that Abraham is commanded by God to sacrifice his child. Vorgelesen wurde, dass Abraham von Gott den Befehl bekommt, sein Kind zu. It is also the drawing, I think, of Dürer, of whom going around, where the father has a knife in his hand and he wants to cut his son's throat. I believe that touched every human, and it has shocked many. And has also enaged many into adulthood. It probably also led many to quit the church, because something cannot fit together. Weil etwas nicht zusammenpassen kann. On the one hand, it says you should not kill, love the neighbor as yourself, and the one who makes these commandments himself gives the order that a father murder his child. That would have been nothing else, the sacrifice, as a murder. To call this oblation is nonsensical, because their living child is killed against his will. Weil dort ein lebendiges Kind gegen seinen Willen getötet wird. Whoever does it in the end does not matter. Murder is murder. Well, that would not have worked together, and I have interpreted it that way, that it was a test for Abraham, how far he is willing to murder, to kill, or to sacrifice on command. Or whether he listens to his own voice, and that his own inner voice is so strong that it stops him and says, no, do not do that. So you can see that. I'm giving up a little link up here to the video. Now today I'm watching the internet and I have found something again where I have been stuck for years. One point. And that is from Luke in the New Testament. Und zwar ist das aus Lukas im Neuen Testament, Lukas 14, 26. Luke 14:26. Da heißt es, and then it says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother, and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. So kann nicht mein Jünger sein. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. That's again under Matthew. I just have to see where we are. Matthew 10:37. It would be, he that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. This is something like the inversion, which fits. Die Umkehrung, was dazu passt. So that leads one, of course, to the question, that should be the words of Christ have been from Jesus? How can one, when it says, thou shalt not kill and honor thy father and thy mother, postulate this? Dieses postulieren. It's nice to be mentally involved with such topics, and maybe with several people. Und das vielleicht auch mal mit mehreren und versucht es zu interpretieren. And try to interpret it. How is that meant? Are the terms translated correctly? Is the term hate translated correctly? interpreted, or how is that meant? Yet that's definitely interesting to think about and not always just parrot everything. Always say you read the Bible and reading it and did not read it. But you always go hypocritical through the world and just shatter something, without even thinking about it. Yes, it is worth and important that you think about it, that this is discussed, and that thinking freely. Dass man das diskutiert, und zwar frei denken. Informal. Do not let anyone or anything force you to look at it in a certain way against your own inner voice. This is very important. Zu betrachten gegen eure eigene innere Stimme. Das ist sehr wichtig. I myself have no God of punishment or hatred, but I believe in the love. And for me, love is divine and God. And love can also appear as a word, in the form of a word. And of course, it is the content of the word. Love is first and foremost charity. For me, it is a pleasure to love and to give love, and also to give charity. Love out of me to give, that's a great pleasure. A really inner joy, that's fun. And I ask you again, write me your comments down here, even if you disagree. It would be nice if this resulted in an interesting discussion. Something different than always consumer thinking, consumption thinking. And addressed to some rabbis, of whom I am yesterday also watched a video where the New Testament is taken under the magnifying glass and where all the weak points that appear contradictory are listed. It should be said that this already exists in the Old Testament, which corresponds to the Torah. And there's a story of Abraham, already a contradiction, that the Father, God, so to speak, commands his son to kill his child, which you may call sacrifice. I have no sacrifice, and I will never sacrifice anything, neither a human nor an animal. This is just clear. That does not exist for me. No need that you sacrifice something. And it also means he who kills one life kills the whole world. That's another contradiction. 2,000 other theses in it. Be mentally busy with it. That is really fun. And to discuss these contradictions with others. Okay, so have fun. Have a nice day. Shalom. And read Corinthians 13.